Hey guys, it's Alex, and as always with my videos, I'm going to get right to the point. Today we're talking wide bands. If you have an older Mustang, pre-Coyote, pre-2011, whether it be a GT500 or Cobra, 2-valve or 3-valve, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to ask you if you have wide bands, and a wide band or some way of getting wideband data to me if you're getting tuned remotely. And even if you're on the dyno, I can dial you in way better with a wideband than I can with narrow bands. Narrow bands is basically O2 voltage. O2 voltage, I'm going to take a guess at what's happening. I can get only so far, and cars that are basically narrow band cars have old O2, so the information isn't something that I like to go by. I like to go by wideband data. Now, a lot of you are like, well, I don't want to get a wideband in the car. A lot of you push back. You say, I don't want to get a wideband in the car. I'm just like, really? You want to blow it up? Because that's how you blow it up. But this is what I tell people. If you're not going to get a wideband in a car that's boosted, or you're really, kind of doing some racing with it, I am not interested in tuning that car. You can go get it tuned somewhere else. And a lot of other people say, well, I'll just bring it to a dyno. Okay, so you're going to spend $250 on renting a dyno to get one pass to get wideband data, when you can just go ahead, buy an AEM UEGO or any other, like an Aeroforce or any other kind of wideband, and analog it into the SCT device and get me data just like I would see on a Coyote car. Coyote cars come with widebands already. Thank you, Ford. Older Mustangs, GT500s, 2-valves and 3-valves do not. So if you're smart, you spend a couple bucks, you get yourself a wideband. AEM UEGOs, here's the part number if you guys want to know, because I'm all about information. Here's your part number. That's an AEM UEGO, and get yourself a SCT, we call it the Firewire cable. It's part number 9608. Now, if you have an SCT device, you can plug this in to the top of the SCT device. That is an analog input, don't mind the airplane. And in the instructions, in the UEGO, AEM UEGO instructions, it tells you which wires to use so that you can analog this into the SCT device. And guess what? When you send me a data log, I have wideband data based on RPM, load, spark, everything. I now tune it just like a Coyote car. No freaking different. It is awesome, and it's cost effective, it's pretty efficient, and it's great data to have, so you'll know if your car is running well or not. It's actually pretty quick data. This is one of the better ones in the market that I like because I have experience with it. Now, there's also Aeroforce gauges. Aeroforce gauges work really well also. The Aeroforce gauges tend to record a bunch of things. They record MAF pounds a minute, they record short-term fuel trims, they record wideband data if you have a wideband analog into the Aeroforce gauges. It's a great tool, and I tell people, anyone that has an older Mustang, GT500 guys, it's a must. If you have a pre-11 GT500, you have to have a wideband in the car, period. Cobra guys, gotta have a wideband to tune it properly. We're just gonna be guessing at what air fuel is, and then you're gonna complain when you go to a dyno day and they actually take some information down and it's on the lean side or it's on the rich side and it is not dialed in as good as if you had wideband data in the car. So get yourself a wideband, don't mess around. If you're gonna get an AEM UEGO, get yourself a Firewire cable, okay, from SCT, analog it in, get me proper data, we get you tuned perfectly and not really have an issue. Now, for those of you that are afraid, oh shit, I gotta wire something, fuck that. Well, guess what? The next best thing is get the wideband hooked up. And if you know how to data log but don't want to really analog a signal in, which takes 15 seconds, fine. Get this guy hooked up onto your in your car, and if you have like a gauge pod or some kind of pillar, the pillar pod, and you want to get me wideband data, well, you get yourself a cell phone like I'm recording with now. You put it right up to the wideband, and if you can see RPM in the same video, put it to the wood, 2,000 RPMs, do an RPM sweep, and then I can see what the wideband is doing at a certain RPM. So if you have RPM and the wideband in the same shot, I can, in the tune, based on previous data logs, dial in fueling. I've seen guys where they say, man, the car's running great. I say, well, what's your wideband saying at wide open throttle? Well, it's saying 12.0, 11.9. I'll say, give me some video. They get me video, and then I adjust the MAF based on what I see in the video, and guess what? It goes down to 11.5, 11.4, 11.3, right where they want it to be. get yourself a wideband. If you have an older vehicle, older Mustang, pre-11 that did not come with widebands equipped, make your life and your tuner's life a lot easier. Talk to you guys later.